And here we are back. It is you arrived on a Saturday, so it's now Sunday evening. Late at night, around about 10 o'clock, almost 11, because you spent some time in the library researching the mystery that has now turned out to probably be a Wendigo. And you are looking at the front door from the inside because through this door has just walked out Mademoiselle Martin with your walking cane that you gave her. And that although everybody was supposed to stay at home because we have two casualties, Mr. Price and Irene have both been murdered in a very, very terrible way. Das ist mein Würfelbecher. In a very terrible way, dismembered, disemboweled, and it's all been terrible. So the idea is that as soon as the weather clears up, you will be driving together with Miss Littlewood and Dottie into Bangor to inform the police, disregarding the wishes of Miss Brightwood, who of course would like to keep everything under wraps, but nobody cares what she does, and the gala dinner has been called off. So, what do you do?
That's a very good question. I was outside for just a tad bit, right? I opened the door and stepped outside just a bit and then went back inside because I didn't want to go too far off the building.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alice would go and search for... Who is she called?
Miss Littlewood?
Yeah, Miss Littlewood probably, because she would know best who to get together to go out in a little group. Best with some weapons and lighting.
Okay, so Miss Littlewood is, you try her rooms, which are upstairs. She is indeed there. She is. She opens the door when you knock. She is holding some knitting in her hand, and you can smell cigars. She's been smoking. Baker, what is it?
Miss Montaman went missing. She went outside.
What did she go outside for? She hurt her foot. I told her to stay put.
I am not sure, but I think we should get a small group of people that is able to defend themselves and go outside with some lighting and see if we can find her, because she's not reacting to cold. So if we stand outside the door.
You called out to her and she didn't reply.
We only know she went outside, that's it.
That's strange behavior. I mean, it's late at night and it's dark outside, and
yeah, and with whatever is outside there, we should not... I did not dare to go out alone because...
No, very sensible, very sensible.
I'm crazy, but not too crazy. The thing is, do you maybe know if there is a rifle or anything like that?
Well, Price had a shotgun.
Then we should take that as well.
Yeah, we would have to go to his family's home. I spoke to them earlier and informed them that Mr. Price is deceased. I didn't go into any details. It was bad enough as it was. I don't think that they're going to stay. They're going to leave.
Penny and I were already making plans on asking around as soon as we are able to leave to see if we can find a new place for her to work.
That's very good. That's very good. Well, I have a handgun, and if we... Well, I would say that everybody else is pretty useless around here because hunting people isn't what they really do. But with you and maybe that girl of yours as well, I can give her a small handgun as well. So, okay, if she's willing. And what have you got? Because I'm pretty sure you're carrying.
Yeah, I have a small handgun as well. But I think a shotgun might be a nice extra.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so how about... Well, we take the lanterns, and I'll have to change because obviously she's now wearing kind of like an... It's one of those... men's. It's not a dress, those men's smoking gowns, so she's wearing one of those and she says, well, I can't go out in this because I'm going to freeze to death. So how about we meet downstairs in 20 minutes and I'll bring what
perfect.
I have.
I will
Okay.
get myself ready as well to go outside. And Alice will just turn around and will quickly walk up to her room. Also, Dottie was probably still following around
Yeah,
with me, I guess.
she when you said that you were going to go to Miss Littlewood, she basically said, yeah, I'm going to tag along because she saw everything that was going on. And then she will go with you, and she will also change, of course, because she's wearing indoor clothes, and so she's probably gonna put on her trousers and her boots and wrap up warm,
but also not flexible enough, and that we can worst case run or whatever we have to do. Then we get ourselves ready, and then we meet Miss Littlewood downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you meet downstairs. She hands you she hands Dottie a revolver, and she has one for herself.
I have mine ready and loaded as well.
She hands a lantern to Dottie because she knows that with your handgun and your cane, you won't be able to hold anything else. So between the two of them, they have like these lanterns, which are really good. And then she says, "Okay, well, how about I take point?" And the two of you just follow closely.
Okay, then first to the Price's house to get the shotgun.
She opens the door. She steps outside into the darkness. She looks down and she says, oh yeah, here are her footprints. She took a left, so she took the same route that you initially took. So that if she continues to follow this path, will take her around the conservatory into the big garden, and eventually she can go on either and keep to her right to walk to the Price's house, or she can turn left, which would then take her across the garden and eventually to the stables and then into the woods beyond.
So we can follow basically for a while.
So you go along, and do you keep looking at the ground?
Yeah, and I would tell Dottie to have a look around and see if she can just keep an eye open for surroundings.
Okay, so we'll just do 2 spot hiddens each, like a summary roll. 97, the first point, she sees nothing. She is probably blinded by her own light. And the second one is a 0-1. She crits, so she gets to roll a d10 immediately to increase her stat by 4, which is super. So, yeah. So what did you roll?
1 fail and 1 normal success.
Okay, so you can also see footsteps. That's not so difficult. However, Dottie, because she has the light, kind of can see a little bit better because she can focus the lantern a little more. And she then says, look, Miss Alice, this is odd. And she points to the footprints. And you can see that they are definitely getting more spaced out. And it's like she has started to walk or maybe run on her toes more. So she's wearing boots, but on the toe part of her boot. Which you find remarkable because she definitely had a problem with her foot earlier.
Do we see the cane still? Because the cane would leave marks as well. Do we still see it leaving marks?
Good point. At some point, they vanish. And then, as you progress, you notice that the footprints vanish as well.
I think the moment that the cane vanishes, Alice would stop. Just briefly tap Miss Littlewood on the shoulder. I think I might sound really crazy, just bear with me, but after what we read in the library and what I'm seeing here on the ground, I am quite afraid that Miss Martin is the thing that is murdering people.
What are you talking about?
Look at the footsteps, how they changed. Also, the cane is not in use anymore.
But why? Oh my. And then she looks up because, and she looks around, and where you are, there are no trees because you're in the open.
Good. Yeah.
And she looks around and she says, but I mean, if I didn't know better, I would say she just took flight.
I think she did.
But Baker, how? I mean, she's a French teacher. She's not an athlete. You saw her. She's got a hurt foot.
Well, she looked very sickly. Very, very sickly.
Yeah, she's been losing a lot of weight this past year.
And based on what we've read, if the myths are true, they are normal human people changing to something quite evil.
What are they?
As I said, bear with me. I am not sure if it's feasible or not, but everything fits perfectly on the books and it fits to a Wendigo. And I know it sounds completely horrific crazy, but honestly, everything that is happening here is at the moment crazy.
I'm just gonna make a check if she knows what a
what it
Wendigo is. On a 20 she does. She's like, a Wendigo? You mean those evil spirits that dwell in the woods that turn people into cannibals?
Yeah.
And you think she is one?
I think she was turned, yes. That's the only explanation for her behavior going out and for this. This is not human anymore. And the vanishing, nevertheless. When did she get sick? When did it start? Does it match with the deers that look
Well,
horrible?
come to think of it, you know, she had a bit of an accident. You know, last year in winter, she took out a pair of skis and she wanted to do, you know, it was during the Christmas holidays, you know, everyone is off, so there are no kids and we have the house to ourselves, as it were. Not that we're doing raucous parties, although I've tried that. But anyway, so she basically wanted to do the trail around the lake. So she packed rations for 5 days and, you know, and everything went swimmingly, but on the third day the weather changed. And we were snowed under. And of course we were frantic because we knew she was out there. As soon as possible, about 4 days later, we sent a search party out. I was part of that party. I took one of the horses because I felt I was going to be quicker than everybody else, which, you know, Price was with me. Yeah. So the two of us made good time. We did find her in the third hut. She had not been eating at all because she had used up all of her rations by that time. She was in a very bad way. She was badly also dehydrated, but very, very, very hungry. She was starving, essentially. And so we took her home. And she developed a fever. And for about, I want to say 10 days, it was touch and go. But she recovered. And she decided that, you know, come spring term, she would be back. So she didn't teach so basically, you know, January is exam time and then the new school year starts at the end of January. So basically she set the exams, but we did all of the work, you know, supervising and stuff. And then in February, on the 1st of February, she was back in the saddle, as it were. And the first deer was found in March.
Well, the Wendigo thing seems to be Native American based story. They have lands here.
Yeah, they did. I read that too, yes.
My only trouble is that the only way to stop a Wendigo if I follow the books is to shoot them. Which sounds horrible, thinking about who actually is that Wendigo.
So you're saying that... all right, I mean, let's just back up a little. If she is the Wendigo...
We need to get the prices into safety. They should not be in that house on their own. The Wendigo
Absolutely.
got to Irene in the cabin, got to Price in the cabin.
Do you know how Wendigo are made? I mean, did she get attacked and survive, or what's the story?
As far as I remember, it's being attacked, but then being kind of like being cursed. And it begins with the moment that you eat flesh and you get hungry on human flesh. I think the deers might have been step one. And it seems like what we see is that a Wendigo can change appearance based on either being human or being their full self.
Well, I mean, I would assume that this has to be the case because you saw her. She is physically incapable of lifting a deer, let alone kill it and then eat it and lift it. And I mean, Irene didn't strike me as a particularly hefty and strong person,
but Price would have been able easily to stop her if it would have been just her. But based on everything we've seen, the Wendigo is extremely powerful and strong.
Make a listen roll, please.
Okay. I hope Dottie is with us listening.
Yeah, but she hears nothing.
I have a hard success.
Okay. You suddenly... how do I describe this best? It's almost like wind blowing. But first of all, it's you know this swooshing sound that objects make when they fly through air.
Yeah.
It's like this, and it sounds fast, if that makes sense, and it sounds compact.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear it overhead.
Okay. Looking up, gun pointing upwards.
Mm-hmm. And you... Okay, now make a check if you can see something.
So spot hidden, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a success.
Nothing. Okay, so basically when you look up and you pull up your gun, both Dottie and Miss Littlewood look up as well. And they both kind of... so basically, Miss Littlewood drops her lantern. It doesn't go out because it's one of the ones that don't go out because it's burning on oil. And she does this to kind of aim. And Dottie basically just stands there looking and holds up her gun, but only she doesn't steady herself. And you look into the night sky. And you had a success when you did the... So let's see if Dottie sees anything. With an 8. Yeah.
Oh, she is on her toes today.
Yeah. And let's see if she sees anything with a 36. She just has a base chance. The base chance for...
25 for spot.
Yeah, so she doesn't see anything. Obviously, she is also quite old, older than you are, so her eyesight might be a little bit failing. And Dottie says, "What is that thing?"
I think that is what we're looking for. How
It's
close?
huge.
Yeah, how close is it?
It is actually doing kind of like a dive and then pulls up. but it is not close. So it's not like you could reach it with your hand. You could shoot at it.
Yeah, Alice the second,
Okay.
it would be close enough for her experience that she can shoot it with her handgun. She would try.
Give me a roll. But for you, it's minus 5% because you didn't see it as clearly as Dottie did. Dottie gets plus 5. And Dottie with an 82 shoots, but she misses.
Ooh. So 5 on top is a regular success then.
You hit. Wow. Okay. Do some damage, please.
Oh, and the cold is a D10 plus 2.
Yeah, they are quite strong. Yeah.
That is 7 points of damage.
Okay. Okay. Good. So, you hear a scream from this creature.
Good.
And you can see it clearly now because you know what you're looking for. It's really a shadow in front of a dark sky. And it does kind of like a looping. But then it continues to fly off. So you did hit it, and it did react to it, but it seems, when you look at it flying, it doesn't seem to be off kilter or something. So you probably didn't hit a wing, or however it flies. It must have wings of some sort.
In which direction is it flying?
It's flying towards the Price's house.
Okay, Alice will just yell, "We need to be quicker," and she will basically motion, and she will try to run as fast as she can to get towards the Prices, and will also... No, she will not call out, because she doesn't want them to step outside, because that would be the worst case scenario, because then they're just an open field. But she would be running, pistol in one hand, cane in the other, trying to support her in case she is, but she will try her best to get where she wants to go.
Okay, so how we do this is we do an opposed dexterity check. Who is quickest? So basically, Dottie's gonna roll against hers, and with an 87, she fails hers. Let's see what the Wendigo does. Ooh.
No. Ooh is not good. Oh, but I like that.
Okay, what did you do?
I rolled a 15, which is a hard success on X.
Brilliant. Okay, so because it rolled a hard success too, so the two of you are actually matching speed for speed. So we'll do a protracted thing, so each one gets to do 2 more additional rolls.
Okay.
You're keeping up. Dottie with 99. She actually stumbles. She doesn't get to do a second roll.
Oh, Dottie dear.
A third roll, because she's out of the race at this stage. Ooh, okay.
I have a normal success for my second roll.
As does the Wendigo, so you're still keeping pace. Last one. Ooh, nice.
It's a fail.
Okay, hard success. The Wendigo is there before you make it. And it is now flying low. And what it does is it actually smashes into the building.
How far ahead is that thing of me?
It's a good 100 yards, so let's say 100 meters, 150 meters ahead of you, and it basically dives, and it doesn't seem to care about itself. It just smashes into the wooden wall of this house, and there is a window. The window breaks, and you can hear a scream coming from within. And the scream is, "Catherine, run!" The door opens, and Catherine runs out.
That's good.
What do you do?
Alice is running full speed. At least she was close to a success, so I guess she's not stumbling. She's just getting slower now because she's not in training, but she will keep on running because she wants to get close enough to that thing to shoot it and also hopefully help Miss Bryce.
Okay, so first of all, let's see how Miss Littlewood is doing. So she is basically also, she's behind you. She can't keep up because she's failed every single one of her.
Boy.
Well, I mean, she is old, so
yeah,
it's she is 65, and it's snowing, and there's snow on the ground. It's dark, and Okay, so essentially you don't have any light. So you're running towards the lit cabin or the lit house. So there is some light coming, but you can't see the creature clearly. However, Dottie is also now closing in. She still has her lantern. She is slower than you, but she is keeping up with you,
So
although
I
she's
hear
behind
her
you.
basically a bit
Yeah, and you
behind
hear
her.
Miss Littlewood as well.
I would just
And-
call back, make sure the girl is safe.
Okay, so Miss Littlewood, let's see if she hears you and realizes what's going on. With an 88, she doesn't. Let's see how Dottie's doing. With a 92, the two of them peel away from you, but they go off in a direction that you don't know. You have no idea where they're going.
Okay.
They are trying to do their best. So you are now running towards the creature, and you're now approaching the house, and it's lit enough that you see it. What you see is huge. It's about, I would say, 3 meters tall. And it doesn't have wings. That's very interesting. It has very, very long arms. And it is now frantically trying to get in. Although it's standing in front of a wall. So you realize that sooner or later it's actually going to push through. Do you do anything? Or what do you do?
She would run close enough that she can shoot.
Yeah, you run into that distance. You run into range, yeah.
And before shooting, she would call out, probably in very horrible French, that she was always a very horrible teacher, and this shows it the best. Really just like trying to get to her that something is pinging in Miss Martin's head.
Okay, then do a fast talk check.
And she wants to see if she can distract the thing, at least for a second, from getting through the door. Why is my fast talk so badly?
Oh. Nope. Okay, so she rolled a 55, so it can withstand you. It doesn't, either she doesn't care or it doesn't get through. You don't know. The thing does not react.
Then I'm blankly shooting.
Okay, shoot. You don't get any penalties because it's basically not paying any attention. It's standing there and it's breaking down the wall.
That is a success.
Okay, so then do damage, please.
Although I'm slowly running out of luck, but hey. That is 8 points of damage.
Okay, good. You have got its attention. It turns round.
Good.
Okay, so I'm going to describe to you what you're going to see or what you're seeing. Like I said, it's very tall. It's got very thin arms, and as it turns round, you see a face that isn't in any shape or form human. It more looks like almost like a dead horse skull or the skull of a deer. So very elongated. It has more. Interestingly enough, it's got the face of a carnivore, but the teeth are herbivore. So like a deer, something like that. Those elongated with the long snout, but it's definitely got carnivore teeth. And plenty of them. It's a skeletal face, and as you look down, you can see that it is actually so painfully thin that you can see the rib cage through the skin. So on its back, it's furry, but on its front, it isn't. And you can also see that the rib cage is partly open and the inner organs are exposed. So, and it's so thin. It's got very long legs, and you can see the bone structure through its skin. It's really just skin drawn over a skeleton, more or less. And as you can see, there is internal organs. You can see the heartbeat. And you now make a stability check for me, please. Sanity check, sorry.
I've seen worse. Maybe not.
Well, this is pretty frightening.
The thing is, this is not a ghost. It seems to be quite realistically
it seems to be very corporeal, yes.
And that is a success. Barely, but it's a success.
Okay, then roll 1d6, please.
That's a 2.
Okay, so you're lucky. So you just get 4. You lose 4 sanity.
4 sanity. Okay.
Yeah, 2 is it's a d6 plus 2.
That is close to...
It's close, indeed. Here you could actually get a temporary insanity. It looks at you, and then you hear Alice.
Oh, God.
Alice. Now make a power check. -20.
That is something that she's like, not again, things in my hand.
No, it's not in your
-20?
head. -20. It's not in your head.
Without the minus, no.
Okay, you drop your gun.
Great. I still have the cane in my hand, so...
And you're drawn towards it. It steps towards you, and you step slowly towards it. Make another power check. This time, no penalty. You step one step closer.
I have no control to pull out the cane, do I?
You can try. Make another power check.
Trying
It steps one step closer.
Changing the dice to see if at least that is something that is a hard success.
Okay, so a hard success. So you stop walking, and you can draw your cane.
Yeah, she will.
It takes one step closer.
Cane with the pointy end that is now up in front of her.
It reaches out to you. Make a power check, -20.
Oh, God. Let's give you guys... That's a 6. Even with a 20, it's a hard success.
Wow. Okay, you get one action.
Okay. Stabbing it. You said it was very thin, so you can see quite well where everything and organs there is.
Yes.
She would try to just stick it straight
Okay,
up
do that.
towards the heart. Because you said it's visible and it would be upwards. And the cane...
Well, try to hit first.
is... Yeah, I'm just checking which stats I have to roll. And I can't believe it. That's a success.
Normal success?
Normal success.
Okay, so now let's see.
Roll
It
the
does
23.
get to move. And on a 45, that's exactly a hard success. On its dex check, it steps out of the way. Now it gets an action. You can roll dexterity for me.
That would be please. Throw myself on the floor is something I can at least try to do.
It succeeds with a normal success.
I visibly fail.
Okay, it grabs you.
Great.
And it jumps into the air.
Okay.
And
I'm close enough to it now.
It's holding you, and the two of you are flying. And you are flying away, and you can see that you're flying towards the stables. You have one action.
Alice wouldn't even care so much that she's in the air. She would be focused now that she's closer even to that thing. The question is just from, I'm not sure where I'm holed up. Would it be easier to
It's actually almost, it's embraced you. So it's holding you, and you can see that it is flying, but it's more like it's running through the air at the moment as it's gaining height.
So it would be probably not that easy to get to the heart, I could imagine.
No, because the heart is behind you, so it's holding you in front of its chest.
Could I just use my cane and basically next to me stab it upwards she would try to get in there?
Sure, please do. It can't do anything about this. So if you hit, you hit. Oh, good.
I hit.
Do some damage.
It's just normal success, but I hit.
Well, still you hit because it can't do anything because it's confined now as well.
That is 3 points of damage.
It screams. You did hurt it.
Good.
Let's see what it does.
It will drop me. At least Alice
No,
is...
on a 12 it doesn't drop you. So it's holding on to you. But it's now leveling off. And now more like flying really fast towards the forest. What do? You're now dangling.
is holding on to the cane or the dagger part of the cane for dear life, and she would still try to stab it again, or would I then fall? It's still
Well, at some
holding on
point,
to
if
me.
it dies and falls, you will fall too.
Yeah,
what I'm more
that's
asking
fine.
is, are you going to shout or say or scream or do anything, or are you just silently gliding along?
She will just try to get this thing down.
Okay,
That's
fine.
her goal. She at the moment isn't really caring that much on what happens when we go down, but she wants to stop that thing. So
Okay.
she would stab again.
Okay, at least Miss Littlewood has located Catherine.
That's good.
Okay, so you stab it again.
Let's see. No.
Okay, let's see what it does.
88 is definitely not good enough.
32, it squeezes you. You take 2 points of damage.
Great. Someone might hear a little bit of yelping from my point of view.
Okay, let's see if somebody hears.
It's not real calling out for help, it's just I'm hurt, so it will be just a yelp.
Okay, so Dottie succeeded with a normal success. So she hears that this thing is flying. Let's see if she hears anything else. On a 71, she doesn't hear you. But you can make a listen roll now.
Okay. Listen. That is a 5, so it's a critical success.
Okay, you hear Littlewood shouting, "I've got the girl, get the shotgun!" And you hear Dottie shouting back, "Yes," and you hear running footsteps.
Okay.
You're still flying. The forest is coming closer and closer.
I will stab again, because with the trees, at least I maybe will be stopped and falling.
Then try and see if you hit.
Scared which dice to use. Oh, that is a 2. That is a critical. No, extreme. Okay. Extreme, critical is
well, it's like,
extreme
yeah,
success.
So there's hard and then there's whatever the next one is. Yeah, okay. Good, so do damage, please.
That is 2 points of damage.
Okay. Let's see what it does. It squeezes you again. You lose 2 hit points. Great. This hurts. Mm-hmm. You feel how the air escapes your lungs because it's actually, it's holding onto your torso, so it's actually squeezing your lungs. You can now make a listen roll.
Let's see. Nope.
Okay. Okay. Dottie just had a hard success watching, and she repeats it with a normal success. You hear voices shouting, and one of them is Dottie. She says, "It's over there. It's above the trees." And Littlewood says, "Let's go!" And the two of them probably run towards where you are. You keep flying. You can now feel that you can now feel the treetops touch your feet because you're dangling. What do?
I will probably curse quite loudly and try again to stab it.
Okay.
And get it down. And that is a big no. Okay,
it keeps flying. But you can feel that it's slowing down.
Good. Hopefully.
And it is now, because you were basically, it had leveled off. So now it's actually getting upright again. And you can see that it's, you can feel more than you can see that it's making running motions with its legs. And you're getting lower and lower and lower into the treetops. And it seems to be running on the treetops. And then it just stops and falls down with you.
Great.
But it seems to know what it's doing, so it's not like it's a controlled action. And then it lets go of you. and you fall to the ground. Take 6 damage.
Ooh, 6 damage is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is so good.
How much do you have left?
2 points.
Okay, good. So you're still alive and you're not dying or unconscious. So you
No,
can
not
act. So you've basically fallen to the ground. You can walk. You are completely in shock, which is why you don't feel pain. You are in shock. Please make a stability roll, a sanity roll.
Oh, that is a 7. I'm stable.
Okay, good. You actually this is the shock talking. You are unable to feel anything at the moment, even mentally. So you get up. What do? You can't see the creature and you can't hear the creature. What do?
I will step. I'm surrounded by trees, right?
Oh yeah.
And I can't see it anymore.
Can't see it. No.
I also can't hear anything.
Well, you can give me a listen roll.
Yeah, she would try to listen where that thing is, because if it stops and it's going down, there should be like branches breaking and things like that.
There were branches breaking when it was first going down, and then it
Normal
dropped you.
success.
You hear nothing.
Then she will call out in rusty French. Again, Miss Martin, be brave enough to show yourself and stand up to me face to face.
Fast talk. Or do you have anything else like?
No. It would be fast talk. There's nothing
What about
else.
your psychology check? Is that better?
My psychology is much better, but
Then use that.
it's technically fast talk.
Well,
I'm doing.
Okay, so try
Yeah, I will
fast
go
talk.
with fast talk because it's technically exactly what she's doing. And oh, that's a 99. No, to whatever it's no. I don't.
Maybe it doesn't
sound
speak
very
French.
convincing.
Maybe you should choose Algonquin or English.
Oh, English.
Nothing happens.
Do you have any kind of sense of direction from where we came?
Is there something like direction sense, something or other? Navigate or something like that?
Well, let's try navigate. That she wants to get. She would look around and try to get where
Some pointers, yeah.
Yeah, where the school is and where to go. And this is a big no. That's a.
You know that you're in the forest, and you know. I mean, I'm not
I know
joking.
where the
You know
forest
that
is.
you're in the forest,
Yeah.
and you know where it is, and you also don't think that you flew that far. So you believe that you're in easy walking distance of the stables.
But
So
I'm not sure which direction the stables are. The forest is
yeah,
fun.
and this part of the forest simply doesn't have any paths. It's just a dense
And
forest.
she will stay where she is, and she will have still her cane dagger sword thingy in her hand, and she would yell out again and just try to get that thing's attraction. And now it would be in English. And I'm here. If you want to get me, get me.
Okay, fast talk, but this time you get a plus 20. So your fast talk is 20 points higher. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, goodbye, dice. I will die for them
They were
later
rubbish.
on.
Anyway.
No, still no success.
Okay, yeah, it's, but now you can make a listen roll.
Okay. That is definitely a success. Normal success on listen.
Okay, so Dottie's dice are on. Ooh! Okay, Dottie has been critting on both her dexterity checks. She's been running like crazy after you.
That's my girl.
Yeah. And you can now faintly hear her voice shouting, Miss Alice! Miss Alice! Of course, much fainter than I'm shouting now. So you can hear her voice.
Okay.
And then you can hear a shot.
Okay.
And then you can hear another voice, that's Miss Littlewood, shouting, Baker, come towards the shots if you can hear us. And you hear another shot. And now you can make a listen roll and see are you able to locate them? Because of course in a forest you get echoes and stuff.
Well, with a 23, that's a hard success.
Okay, you actually can find the direction that it's coming from. You could walk towards it if you so choose.
She will carefully walk there, but she would turn around and try to listen on that thing here and there, and she would just yell out, "Stop wasting bullets, god damn it."
Okay, let's see if they hear you.
And that would be really top of her lungs, really loud, and hope they hear it.
48. Listen for her, for Dottie. Yeah, that's a success. It's a normal success, but still, you're shouting, and she is obviously actively listening. And then you hear shouting coming back. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. And yeah. So like boats in the night, you hope that you do go bump this time around.
The thing is, Alice is not too crazy to move away from where she was because she suspects the thing is still there.
Mm-hmm.
So
make a listen roll.
I think she would turn around again and just stop because she would be like, they will hear me and they will come towards me. And she would turn around and listen again to see if I hear that thing. And no, with a 79, I hear nothing. Why did I lose the good times? Where did it go?
I have no idea.
No, I can't even see it. It rolled off, I think, under the couch.
Make a spot hidden.
Okay. That is a normal success.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you can see 2 small dots in the woods that come towards you at about 3 meters height. They're red.
Okay.
Sorry, dots of light.
Yeah.
It's like 2 dots. What?
In 3 meters height. Okay, that's the thing.
So I mean, like the height of the creature's head when it's standing on the
So it's not 2 lanterns with 2 normal humans on it.
No, and they're also
It's
coming
the
from
thing.
the wrong direction because they're coming from towards where you were dropped.
She would just stand her ground. She would have the cane up again. And would just try to stare at the thing and see the movement.
It has definitely seen you.
Mm-hmm.
And it moves towards you.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also... Dottie is on fire.
Well, she's worried.
Yeah, she just critted. She did 2 hard successes
She
on her dex,
knows
and
how
now she
stupid
critted. So
Alice
she's
is.
actually running really quickly towards you. Basically, this thing stops. You can now see it in all its glory, because you can also kind of now see that there's a preternatural light around it. So it seems to actually have some form of light source around it. It's got an aura, let's call it that. And that kind of reflects off of the little snow that's managed to fall between the trees on the ground. And you can now make a psychology roll, please.
Okay. That is big no.
Okay. It stares at you. And it keeps saying, Alice. Alice.
She will blankly say, "I'm sorry for your channel, fuck off." in English and in French, just to be safe and sound, because I'm quite sure she knows how to curse in French, because that would be the vocabulary she kept in mind.
Yeah.
And she will make a step forward towards the thing, with the cane, the pointy end in front of her up.
Okay. The thing doesn't move.
Okay. How far away from me is it?
6 meters? You can't stab it.
Yeah, no. But 6 meters is quite
It
close.
also can't reach you.
Okay.
It doesn't move, it just looks at you.
I will make another step. forward.
Okay. It looks at the cane, at the blade. And then it looks at you.
She will lower it not completely to the ground, just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then she would, in English, just talk and say, "You kill people. We need to stop this."
And you can hear from within that creature a sound that, if you didn't know better, sounds like choked sobbing.
She would make another step forward, lowering the cane even a little bit more.
It doesn't do anything. It just stands there and looks at you.
And she would go on talking.
Mm-hmm.
"I know you're hungry, but we need to stop this. Can you turn back? Then we can talk. Maybe there is a way."
You hear footsteps behind you.
Mm-hmm.
It's... Get down!
Alice will just try to motion and be like, "Wait a second.
What do you mean? Get away from that thing!
Just a
And you hear-
second.
As somebody cocks, probably Dottie cocks the shotgun.
Hold."
Okay? Let's make a psychology roll on Dottie's behalf if she thinks you've gone completely crazy. 43. She's giving you the benefit of the doubt for the
Good.
moment.
Alice will lower the cane even more, but will not move closer because I would be now 2 to 3 meters away from that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she would repeat, "I know you're hungry. I know you need help, but this way we can't help. You need to change back."
Make a psychology roll.
Okay.
And no, better still, make a power check.
Power check.
Mm-hmm. Power. Mana.
That is either way, it's the same stat, basically almost to the point. So I will use 1, 2, 3 luck and make it a success. Oh god, I have only 4 luck left.
She critted on her pow. She rolled a 1.
Oh, good. So bad? I'm not sure.
You have never seen anything like this. Make a stability check, because this thing is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and is turning into a human being.
I rolled
Completely naked. It's a woman. It's Madame Martin. Mademoiselle Martin. She collapses into the snow.
I rolled a 12, so I guess that's stable enough.
Let's see what Dottie does. How she is doing. 54. Oh, she's doing worse.
Is better than mine, so she should be fine.
80. Her current is 80. She says quietly, "What is going on?"
I got her to change back because we need to talk, and we can't talk with that thing. We need to talk with her. And Alice would get out of her coat that she's wearing and would slowly walk over to Miss Martin and would just hang the coat or put it around her.
She is lying on the ground, and you have a feeling that she is not really conscious. It looks like she is sleeping.
Okay. We need to get her to a warm place, but not inside the mansion.
Dottie says, "Well, the first hut is just over there."
No. The way it looks, I'm not stepping another foot in there. That was
Then
the one where
the-
Price died, so this is a
The
horrible
stables?
scenario. Yeah. Oh, the horses will go insane, probably. Are the prices out the building?
Yes, they're
Get
in
the.
the mansion.
Yeah, then let's go to the prices house.
Okay, so at this stage, Miss Littlewood has approached and she's like, Baker, what's happening?
Well, I kind of talked her down to change back because we need to talk, and it seems like she's not happy with what she's doing.
You talked to that thing.
Well, I didn't have another chance because this did not do much. She's holding out the end of her cane. That is bloody, but still.
Okay, now give me a con roll, please.
Con roll. That is a normal success.
Okay, you now realize that you are actually badly hurt. You hold on to the nearest tree and you start coughing, and now it's quite clear you have several broken ribs.
Yeah.
Breathing, it only hurts when you breathe, which means it's constantly hurting, but kind of like now the adrenaline is rushing out of your body, so, and the shock is going out of your system, and you can now feel the pain.
Let's get her to the Price's house. You need to carry her. I can't.
Littlewood looks at you. She's like, it looks like 29. It looks like you need carrying too.
Well, you will not be able to carry us both. I will just
I won't.
make my way along the trees.
Okay, so she looks at Dottie. You take her arm over your shoulders, and I'm gonna carry this one because obviously Mademoiselle Martin is very small anyway, and she is super thin, so she probably weighs next to nothing. So Dottie steps towards you and basically reaches. Well, she takes your arm and puts it around her shoulder and puts one of her arms around your waist.
I'm not fighting her. I will work with her as best as I can.
And and the two of you make your way back. Littlewood is a lot faster than you now because you can hardly walk.
Probably Dottie will go through, like, every second step, a little bit of ow on my side. It's a bit like...
And at some point, she says, how are we going to explain this to your mother? Every time you go away, something terrible happens to you.
Well, we don't. I will not tell her. She will not see me until I'm back on my feet.
You've got several broken ribs. That's going to take a couple of months.
As I say, she will not see me. I can still give her a call that she knows.
You realize that actually talking is very difficult at this stage.
I only promised to my father that I will call. I can do that.
How about you just shut up?
Ow.
And the two of you it takes you a while. It takes you actually, I would say, close to 2 hours because it's hell. It's hell.
God, and I'm
you fell from
freezing as well
because you're not. But she realizes you're not wearing a coat, so she gives you hers.
Great, and she's freezing. That's not better.
Well, but she doesn't have a serial rib fracture on both sides of her rib cage. She is in a much better place at this stage.
At least my legs seem to be fine.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you didn't hurt that knee of yours, isn't it? And I told you to shut up.
Ow.
Yeah. So you do arrive at the house at some point. Littlewood is there. She has laid out Mademoiselle Martin on the bed. She is still sleeping. And Littlewood is slowly kind of like, she's touching her she's feeling her pulse, and she says, this pulse is unnaturally low. It's very slow, and she's breathing very shallowly. I don't know if she's going to. She doesn't seem to be hurt at all. I thought we didn't we hit her when we shot her? I thought we shot her.
I'm also quite sure. stabbed her.
There, there is nothing wrong with her. I looked at her thoroughly. There is nothing wrong.
I guess
Except that she's emaciated.
I guess she's starving. She went out because she was hungry, and she could not stop herself.
So what do we do now? Do you know how long it takes for them to wake up? Is there anything in the books?
No, there's also no solution in the book on how to treat this. The only solution was that they killed the Wendigo.
I mean, killing her in this form is going to prove very difficult, I'm afraid, because that would be murder.
Yeah, if I remember the books right, she would change back to that form anyhow.
You mean to the other form?
Even
so
if
we just wait and then kill her?
No, even if she is in the other form, we kill the Wendigo, she turns back into herself.
Oh.
Because this is her actual form. The rest
So she's
is
like a
curse.
werewolf? Like, I mean, werewolves don't well, I take that back. Who knows?
It read like a similar thing, although this seems much more powerful than a werewolf.
So what do? Do you she looks at you and she says, well, I think now is a good time to look at you. And she looks at Dottie and she says, what do you reckon? And Dottie says, well, several broken ribs. I thought so. Can you stay here and watch her? I mean, and she basically says, you've got weapons. If she does anything, just kill her. And I will just get some bandages that we can wrap around that one. And she motions towards you.
If you find the second half of my cane, that would be useful, thank you.
Baker, that's not really my priority now. And she steps outside.
It would help with walking.
And then Dottie looks at you and she says, now we're in another pickle. Can we never just go anywhere where people are just normal?
Well, it's
and at least not dead or abnormal?
At least it's not ghosts this times. I know ghosts would be easier to handle.
That one nearly killed you.
Well, she squeezed me, and the drop was not the best thing to do.
Yeah, she just squeezed you and then dropped you from a height. I mean, yeah, why do I even care? Why am I worried?
I am still alive and my knee is still working. That's so in.
How about you just keep quiet? And you do notice that actually speaking, because now your diaphragm and your lungs cannot really actually deal with the air. And then she looks closely at you and she says, oh, you really shouldn't talk anymore. You've got blue lips.
Great.
And you know what that means. You're not getting enough oxygen.
She will just probably lean back a bit. I guess she sat me down somewhere because I highly doubt she would leave me standing in the middle of the room.
No, you're sitting. But you realize you can't actually, because as soon as your back touches the... you are in so much pain that you actually jump up.
Okay, so I'm just trying to...
Do you have medicine?
Not faint. I think a bit. Let me see. Well, a bit, not much, but a bit.
You can make a roll. She rolled a 40. She's got 62. She's fine. She says, hold on.
She was the medic too.
She gets up and she wasn't even sitting down, and she goes into the kitchen. You hear rummaging around, and she comes back with a paper bag, and she says, breathe into this for a couple of minutes.
I'll just do as told. I'm not fighting her.
Yeah,
because I know she's much better in
because
you're sort of things.
You're now breathing really shallowly, so you're actually starting to hyperventilate.
Okay, I will take the bag and try to breathe longer. Not very deep breath because ouch, but at least try to calm myself down, as it sometimes does help with the paper bag.
It does. And then Littlewood comes back with 3 bandages, and she hands them to Dottie, and she says she will have to take her clothes off. I'll wait outside because she needs to bandage. Obviously, she needs to bandage you, so you have to take your clothes off. And she does that. She proceeds to do this. She it hurts like hell. Although she's trying her best. Let's see if she does any damage. On a 30, it goes smoothly. It's a good. It's a hard success. And then you're patched up as well as is possible. You put back your clothes on, and then Dottie opens the door and she says, "You can come in now." And Miss Littlewood steps in, and the three of you proceed to sit there and watch over the Wendigo.
Maybe
Miss Martin.
one of you both should go back to the library and see again if you can find anything more that we missed.
Okay, let's see. Dottie will look at you and she says, "Well, I can try, because I know where the books were that we were looking at." And then she looks at Miss Littlewood.
Everything you find and bring it here.
And she says, "Unless, of course, you prefer to go, madam." And Miss Littlewood is just like, "And drop that, madam. Just keep going."
And give me your gun, just in case.
She gives you her gun.
Well, technically Miss Littlewood's gun, but because at least then I have something that I can shoot with in case I need it.
Okay. The two of you sit there and watch, and nothing happens. She's not changing at all. The situation also doesn't change. And then, at length, after about 2 hours, she comes back and she says, "I didn't find anything in addition to these." And she brings you the books that the two of you had been reading earlier that very evening. And the three of you look at them again, and it actually turns out that every single time there is a record of one of those Wendigo attacks, the Wendigo was shot or killed. Usually it's a shot because nobody wants to get close to them, and then they do turn back. What happens, Dottie says, if we just feed her? If we just make sure that she's never hungry?
The question is if she needs something that we can't feed her with.
Okay. Make an intelligence roll, so an idea roll.
Why am I rolling that bad? But it's at least a success.
Okay, make another one.
That is also a success. Even worse, but still barely good enough.
Okay, so there are a couple of pieces of information that you've got. You know that whatever happened to her happened probably last winter.
Yeah.
A month after she had recovered, those attacks on deer started. Not a single person was ever touched, as far as you know.
True.
No one vanished, nothing.
Until
she hurt her foot 2 days ago, which was the first day that she attacked a human. Now, what you do remember is that because you had biology and you were interested in the sciences, that there are tigers that are called man-eaters. And those man-eaters are usually tigers that were injured somehow, that they couldn't hunt their normal prey, and men, being fragile and slow, then were attacked, proved to be easy prey, and then became its prey of choice.
Okay.
It could be that because you haven't seen her in action when she is unhurt in her human form, if maybe when she is unhurt and can run a lot quicker, her Wendigo personality is also a lot quicker and she can hunt deer, which are quick, whereas a human being, you just lift it up and that's it. So it could be that you're dealing with a man-eater right now.
Well, we can try to give her meat, I guess, if they have some meat in the kitchen. Probably uncooked would be best.
Well, I mean, we were planning on having a gala dinner, so yes, we actually have venison.
Then it's worth a try.
Dottie's like, "I'm gonna get this because I know people in the kitchen and I won't be telling them anything." Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't mention it, and she runs away. So we might end up with a French teacher that likes her steak really raw.
I know it's a lot to handle for a school. Too high of a risk for a school.
Too high of a risk for anywhere. At this moment, Mademoiselle Martin stirs, opens her eyes, and wakes up. And she looks at the two of you and says in French, "Where am I? What's going on?" And she looks at her and she sees that she's basically covered in a blanket and nothing else. And what is this place? What happened? Why am I with you?
You don't remember what happened.
Remember what? What do you mean happened?
Why did you leave the school?
What did I have no idea. Where am I anyway?
In the
What's
rest
going on?
of the Price's house, what is left?
What do you mean what's left?
Well, it looks damaged, I guess, because she crashed into...
It does, yeah.
Well, you crashed into here to grab the prizes. We stopped you.
Excuse me?
Great, she doesn't even remember.
She looks at Miss Littlewood and she says, "Miss Littlewood, what is she talking about? What does she mean? I crashed into this
This
What is going on?"
makes it so difficult. Alice will just... Talking hurts.
It does.
And she's kind of like, she really hoped that Miss Martin remembers. This is a situation where Alice is like, she will never recognize when she jumps out. She will not be able to control this. Because if you would remember, that would be much easier. Well, just give it a second. We are grabbing some food for you because I guess you're hungry.
She looks, like she gets this introspective look, like somebody who's listening to their body. I'm starving.
Mm-hmm.
How long have so when the last thing I remember was dinner. How long ago was that if I'm this hungry?
Oh, goodness grace. Dinner, it's a question which dinner. Did she leave before dinner this evening?
No. You all had dinner. She was there.
Okay.
Then you went upstairs to the library.
Okay.
So, yeah. So dinner it's probably now it's now 4:00 in the morning. So dinner was the previous evening at 8.
Okay.
Or 7. But I mean, she wouldn't be this hungry normally. No normal human being would be this hungry. Yeah.
Well, just a few hours ago.
And why am I not wearing any clothes?
Alice would open one of the books to the page where there's the drawing. Probably. Is there even a drawing?
Yeah, there are drawings. Yeah.
And she would carefully just hold it up and show it. Because she can't move forward and hand it to her. No way. She will just probably hold her ribs and she will just hold it out.
What is that thing?
That is you.
Are you crazy?
Sadly, no.
Is she crazy? And she looks at Miss Littlewood, and Miss Littlewood is like...
In a way, yes, but not in this
no.
regard. I've seen you turn back.
You're saying I'm this.
Yes.
But I don't look like it at all.
No, you have been for the last few hours. Or not even hours. More like hour. Maybe 2-3 hours. 3 hours by now. You destroyed the house. You wanted to grab the prizes. Then you grabbed me instead. Because I was stupid enough to get in your way.
What? I grabbed you?
Well, that thing is about 3 meters big. I guess it's quite hungry. That's why you are hungry.
At that moment, the door opens,
Hmm?
and you can sense immediately that there is a change in her. She sits up, bolt upright, and you can sense and you can see how her nose is beginning to wrinkle.
Mm-hmm. Miss Mata, focus. Stay with us. We have food for you, but you need to stay with us. I don't want to shoot you.
Let's see if she manages to do this.
Well,
it's starting to turn. She's beginning to grow. Her limbs are getting longer. Her face is getting longer.
Alice will yell at Dottie, throw the meat at her, and at the same time Alice would shoot the wall behind it to shock it, maybe. Not to really hurt it, but to
No,
get
I know
this
what you're doing. Okay, so Dottie throws the meat, and with a 71 it falls short, but basically it doesn't really matter because this thing is now in half transformation, just jumps onto it, and you can see the big snout coming down on this piece of venison. It's actually a leg. And you can see how chunks are torn out, and as it is feeding, it is turning more and more into its Wendigo self. The shot doesn't affect it at all. It doesn't care. It's completely focused on this meat, and it's devouring it in a well, the speed is astounding. Before you know it, there's actually just the bone left.
Alice will hold up the gun or keep it up, and she will.
And Miss Littlewood is holding the
Wait.
shotgun.
She will
trained
just
on it.
wait and see what happens after that thing finished.
It you can see blood trailing down its face. It's very ugly.
A cat running right across
yeah.
in front of her.
And she ignores the cat that's running in front of her. She seems to... That was... Don't get on the switch off button. Okay. And she basically then... It looks around. It looks, because it's the bed is now behind it, and it basically looks around and it stretches out a hand. It's almost like it's testing, is this soft? And it goes to the bed and curls up and seems to go to sleep.
Alice will keep the gun up but not move.
And Littlewood is saying to you, so what do we do now? It's much easier to kill it in this form, because it looks terrible.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
It's sleeping.
Yeah, but it's going to wake up. I mean, can you imagine? And she starts laughing. The bill that we're going to be running up at the butcher's if it keeps feeding like this. That was one leg. It was supposed to feed 12 people.
I know.
And also, how are we going to explain this to Miss Brightwood? On the other hand, can you just imagine her face?
Maybe we should call her over. She can see it with her own eyes. No, we shouldn't.
You would end up in detention, and so would I. She would think that this is a prank.
Well, we can leave her alone with this, then we have one problem less. Laughing is not good.
No, it's terrible. You're in terrible pain when you do that.
I honestly can't shoot that thing knowing that Miss Martin is in there. I can't.
And Miss Littlewood actually lowers the gun, and you hear how she uncocks it, as it were, and she puts it down, and she says, nor can I.
If it attacks, I will defend myself, but that's it. Can we get it into one of the cabins far, far away? To the end? There are deer out there. We just need to feed it until it's fit again.
And then Dottie, let's see if she gets an idea. On a 63, she does. Maybe. I mean, this thing lives in the woods. What if we just set it free in there? If we just take it far into the woods, maybe it'll just keep feeding on deer.
Not in the state we need to feed it for a while, I would guess.
Until Miss Martin is fine.
Yeah.
Well, the foot is not going to be injured much longer. Maybe a week. It's sprained. It's going to heal. All right, so I'll tell you what. I will keep her here. You think of a good story to tell Miss Miss Brightwood. Why Miss Martin is not available at the moment. Better still, come up with a story why everybody has to leave. I'm pretty sure that the guests will be leaving anyway. I mean, we've got 2 dead people. The Prices are going to leave as soon as the weather improves.
And the police will show up, so we need to find another place for her. She can't stay here. The police will definitely search the ground. And they will especially want to have a look at Price's house when they find it.
So you're saying one of the huts, but the furthest one away?
I guess so.
As you're talking, actually, it starts to begin to change back.
Okay.
But it's soundly sleeping. Well, what we could do is we could get her dressed, throw her on a horse, pardon my French, and just take her to one of the huts and I can stay with her. I just need food. I mean, it's not ideal.
No, it's not. Also not feeling too relaxed to leave her alone. You alone with her.
Oh, well, and she points to her shotgun. This is not going to leave my side.
I know.
She looks funny at me and it's dead.
But you need sleep in between.
I know. Well, you're not much use in your current state, so don't even think about it, Baker. Don't even think about it.
But the idea of getting on a horse is... No, at the moment. The question is if you just visit her from time to time, bring food around, talk with her, and then leave again. She needs to understand what is happening to her.
Well, we could leave her the books.
Yeah, she should definitely read them.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. I'll take her out there on a horse. I'll lock her in. I'll go back to the house, to the mansion, get some food. I think maybe the trick is to never let her get hungry. Maybe just supply her constantly, that whenever she is awake and feels hungry, she has something to eat so that she doesn't even need to hunt.
I think you should take food with you when you leave.
All right.
Dottie, I'm not sure if you will be able to get a care package together.
That's not a problem. There is enough meat that there are steaks. I hope that she will also eat beef. Do you think she'll eat beef?
I honestly think she will eat anything that gets in front of her.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to get a care package together and I'm going to get some clothes. I mean, she can wear mine. She's a lot smaller than me. They will be too big on her, but at least she'll be covered.
Well, the question is if her rooms are locked up, or if you can just go inside and get some stuff from her.
Littlewood proceeds to describe to Dottie where Miss Martin's rooms are, and then Dottie says, "All right, so I'll see what I can do." And she leaves you again. The sun's now slowly coming up. It's coming on to 8 o'clock in the morning. You have been here all night. You feel absolutely knackered. You cannot keep your eyes open.
She will try anyhow.
Yeah, then make a constitution roll, minus 30.
Minus 30. No.
You fall asleep.
Great.
You wake up when you hear voices, and you can hear it's Dottie speaking very quietly to Miss Littlewood, and the two of them discuss that there will be 3 horses going out. One with Miss Littlewood on it, one for Mademoiselle Martin, and the last one will be kind of like the package horse that will carry all of the stuff that needs carrying. And then she says, and then you hear Miss Littlewood saying to her, all right, so I'll be gone most of the day. Can you drive? And Dottie,
Not sure if she
cannot. Well, she has 20, but you can drive.
I
can't
can
you?
drive, yeah.
And Dottie's like, no, not really. All right, so then she needs to drive, but tell her to go really slowly. She's not fit, and she cannot have any painkillers while she's driving.
I can hear you. You don't have to whisper.
Oh, she's awake. Well then, Baker, you'll have to drive into town.
And tell the police what happened?
Yes, about that. Think of a good thing that you're going to tell them that makes them... I'm thinking maybe we will just go with vanished, because... Or do you think that would make them search more? Or should we wait maybe another couple of weeks? Or what do you think? Because once they start searching, chances are they will end up in one of the huts, and it might be the hut that she's in. So what do you suggest? Or maybe...
I would suggest that it was a wild animal and that we found, well, poor Irene and also Price, and that's it. They are not missing, then they don't have to search. It's probably has been a big, angry, hungry bear.
One that was woken up from hibernation. Yeah, they get cranky that way.
And that would be what I would tell the police. Because that
sounds
would be
like
the
a really
most
good plan.
Honest, also in regards to the Price's family. And also Irene's family, probably. They need proper burial. I'm still not sure what we should tell about Madame Martin. Because if we tell everyone she's missing, they will start searching.
Yeah, for the time being, maybe just... I honestly do not know. This is so far away from anything that I've ever had to deal with before.
Can you hide or explain later why you make several trips out to the hut?
I would want to see the person who questions me.
Then I will tell people that... Well, it's... How late is it now?
Well, it's now 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
9, 10.
We should leave quickly, Dottie, with the car, and then we tell the people here that we drove Miss Martin to the city because she couldn't bear being here anymore, and also she was sicklish and we took her with us. And then we can later on tell the story that she can't come back because she's sick.
That's a good idea.
Then no
Baker,
one will
a very
search.
good idea. You were always the smart one.
Well, I'm trying my best. It doesn't turn out too well every time.
And she looks and she says, you look terrible.
I feel terrible, but I'm alive. That's all that matters.
Okay, so the keys are in the car.
Good. Have a safe ride out there.
I'll do my very best.
Don't meet a bear.
Well, I think that if I met a bear and I woke her up, it would be an interesting sight to see what happens.
Well, I guess she wouldn't be hungry for long then, poor bear.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we will drive into town.
All right, so the two of you get in the car, you drive into town.
I would ask Dottie quickly
Yeah.
before we leave to just run inside to leave a message that we are going into town to the police and we are taking Miss Martin with us because she needs a doctor.
All right, so she basically does that, and she comes back and she looks smug, and she gets in the car and says, "Yeah, I'm good to go."
Perfect. And Alice will drive carefully,
Yeah.
which is not her forte, but as best as she can, especially not too fast because every bump on the road is painful as hell.
Yeah. And you arrive in Bangor. It takes you 2.5 hours. You find the police, no problem.
Good.
You make a report,
Yes.
and the police officer is very friendly. He says, "So you say a bear attack?
It was some.
Did you catch the bear?"
No, we didn't even see it, but it looked like a big wild animal, and
Oh
bears
my
are the
God.
biggest things we have around there.
Yeah, that is true, miss. That is very true.
And in
Well,
winter, they get hungry if they're woken up, so.
we haven't had a bear attack in, I would say, nigh on 10 years, but these things happen.
Well,
Yeah, maybe it got startled. Maybe even by one of the people that it slew. Maybe it was just, you never know with these things. It is wild out here. The wilderness is quite wild out here.
yeah, we were always warned as children not to go out there alone.
All right, so what I will do is I will prepare a report. The coroner will come to the mansion and will look at the bodies. That is standard procedure because we just need to make sure that it wasn't you who killed someone and then made it look like a bear attack. And he
Sure,
smiles at
sure.
you.
Warn them that the site is not nicest.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much. And then he says, "Well, can I? So, are you going to drive back now, or what? What is the?
Yeah,
Do
we would
you?
drive back if you don't need us
Oh
anymore.
no, no, quite. But just if you sign here, and well, it's basically a statement that you're making, and you read it through. It's exactly what you said, and you just
She
probably
will
sign it.
sign.
Okay.
Also, if he's asking why she's that in this bad state, I'm not sure if he would ask because
He
she's
doesn't.
visibly hurt.
Well, he notices obviously, and you notice that he notices, but he doesn't ask.
Then she would just sign. She would also just lean forward. I'm quite sure the Price's wife and daughter will want to leave quickly as well as the rest of us because it was quite shocking to lose Irene as well as Mr. Price.
Of course, of
How
course.
long do you think we need to stay there before we can go?
Well, I
Because I
mean,
understand you want to talk to everyone probably.
well, it all looks cut and dry. So the coroner will view the bodies, which he will do today. If he comes back with the verdict that there is no foul play, you're all good to go, which would be by tomorrow at the
Perfect.
latest.
Thank you.
So, well then, safe trip home, I guess.
Yeah, the coroner probably best just says hello at the school when he arrives and we can then show him the way.
Okay, so you drive back. On the way home, it's a little bit quicker because actually it's now started to thaw, so the roads are in a lot better condition.
Okay.
You arrive. It's now, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the coroner actually arrives only an hour after you.
Okay.
Miss Brightwood is not herself. She is very well. She is herself. She's very testy. She is shouting at people. She is worried about the school's reputation. Interestingly enough, Melinda Stonebrook is nowhere to be seen. But Penny runs towards you. Says, "Baker, what the hell?"
Don't even ask. She would walk towards Miss Brightwood. Miss Brightwood, I'm really sorry to have more bad news for you. Miss Mantel is quite sick. She will not come back. At least not in the near future. She would.
What is going on at my school?
Well, Mayhem, as always.
You are out of line, Miss Baker.
Also, as always.
She...
Let her be. Alice is too tired, too hurt to be polite.
She regains her composure and she says, Miss Alice, I understand that you are hurt and you have not been sleeping, so I will not hold this against you. But may I suggest that you take your evil temperament somewhere else and just get some sleep, and we can talk about this in the morning?
The good thing is you're not my teacher anymore, and I don't have to talk to you at all. And Alice will just turn around and we'll just let her stand in the middle of the room.
Mm-hmm. You find walking at this stage, you are dead on your feet. So basically, the only option that you now have is actually go to bed.
Yeah,
because
that would
you
be...
are dead.
I would ask Dottie just to...
Yeah, Dottie takes you to your room.
Help, and also when the coroner shows up, which would be then after this, that she would point the coroner in the right direction where it is. Mm-hmm. Just don't go too close because the view is really horrible.
Yeah, so she takes you upstairs into your room. She basically prepares the bed for you. She helps you undress because you can, even this motion trying to take off your shirt.
I think Alice doesn't care too much about undressing. Maybe the coat, because that's too much, but the rest she will be like, it's not important.
Mm-hmm. And she basically waits until you're in bed, and then she goes down. She leaves the door. She closes the door behind you, and then she goes downstairs. You fall asleep.
Yeah.
Okay. You wake up. You open your eyes, and you notice that it's now bright lights, which is so natural light is flooding in, which is a bit weird because you went to bed at about 4:00 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. If it's this bright, it means that you must have slept through the night and it's the next day. You turn your head slightly and you can see Dottie sitting in a chair. Mm-hmm. And she is watching you. And then she says very quietly, how are you feeling?
Like I was hit by a truck.
Nice metaphor, but yeah. So I've got something for you.
Okay.
First, you need to eat something. You have to eat something before you can take this. And she shows you a small, a bottle of pills.
Okay. I will eat something because I learned starving is a bad idea around here.
Yeah, who knows what happens? And she offers you toast.
Yeah, I will.
But it's untoasted because otherwise it would probably be cold. So it's kind of like it's only toast bread.
At the moment, Alice is not. Mm-hmm. She will just nibble on the toast and will eat it. And while she's eating, just what did the coroner say?
Well, the coroner took one look and blanched and said that he'd never seen anything like it, and where was the bathroom?
Well, we warned them.
Yes, but he does need to take a close look, and I think that it's difficult to warn people of this. I mean, of course, Dottie never really saw it because you told her not to look, so... and at that moment, I thought it might be a good thing that I never looked, because he was...
Yeah, but I guess they are not doubting that this was an animal beast accident and not a human.
No, he wrote down that it was exit followed by bear.
Okay.
It's a bear attack.
Yes.
They will let the county sheriff know as well. You know, in summer they may be looking to see is there a bear that basically keeps killing people, but of course, what are the chances of that? And once you have finished, she says, all right, so, and she hands you the bottle. You can have 2. Just today, you get 2 in one go. But I will warn you, they will make you very sleepy.
Well, if it helps against the pain, I'm all in.
Okay, so she gives you 2.
I will take them with some water.
And she offers you water.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, so, and now rest. I've got something else for you, which was on your desk. It's an address for Irene in New York.
Good.
So are you still planning on taking her things back?
If the police allows it, which I think... If
The police haven't even shown up. We're free to go.
Then yes, we will take her stuff, pack it up, and bring it home to whoever is there in New York for her.
All right. So how about you sleep some more and I get her things, and then...
Before you leave, is Miss Littlewood back again? Or she's
Miss
still
Littlewood
out there?
has been in and she found the address for you.
Okay, good.
She's doing well. She's told me that she has woken up, and she's been talking to Miss Littlewood, and Miss Littlewood has been trying to explain the situation. Miss Martin finds it hard to believe, which I'm not surprised at.
Well, I would be not willing to accept if someone would tell me I would be a thing like that. If she doesn't remember, but she has gaps in her memory. That must be something that...
I think that she may start thinking about those.
Yeah.
That according to Miss Littlewood, there was one incident where several months back, where she found herself in the woods and couldn't remember how she got there. Also, she wasn't wearing anything, only she wasn't telling anyone about it.
Okay, so it happened before to her that she was like that. I think in New York we should see if in the university or in the big libraries we can find any more occult stories on Wendigos. Maybe somewhere there is a cure for this.
Well, I was thinking about this as well, and it could be that maybe the Native Americans know something, because the only thing that we found were our own interpretations of the stories.
That's quite true.
But I think New York would be a good place to start.
Maybe Miss Littlewood has the chance to visit the Native Americans. They shouldn't be too far away, if I remember correctly.
Well, she has been thinking about this as well, and once the situation has changed a little bit, she will try to do something. But she has asked for you to keep in touch.
I definitely will.
She's got her. She has a phone. Well, they have a phone, and she said you can ring her and just ring here and just ask for her. And if Miss Brightwood gives you any grief, then to tell her to go where the sun don't shine. She is not happy with Miss Brightwood.
Well, no one is, and I really hope that we can get her out of the school.
Apparently, the board of the school is going to convene to see about its future.
We need the names of the board of the school urgently. If maybe Miss Littlewood is still around, it would be nice if she would just peek in.
Oh, she's gone, but if you need the board member names, I can ask the cook.
Yeah.
She just needs to tell me who was at the last board meeting. She would know.
We definitely need the names because we need to talk to the people to not shut down the school, but that changes are necessary.
Yes, I can get them.
That would be lovely. And give
So
the
how about-
same names also to... Is it Peggy or Penny? I'm just
Penny.
like... Penny.
Penny.
And give the names also to Penny. Is she still there or did she already leave?
Well, I had to fend her off. She was going to wake you, but I will let her know that you are now awake, even if not for very much longer, because you're going to feel drowsy in about an hour or so.
Okay.
But I will send her in.
Thank you, dear.
And she gets up and she leaves. And I mean, this is obviously competent Dottie, because this is just what she does.
This is not supernatural.
This is what she's really good at. And lo and behold, about 10 minutes or 5 minutes later,
Come in.
in comes Penny, and she basically rushes towards you, and then she stops. She says,
Don't.
I don't even feel like touching you might be a good idea, although I definitely want to give you a hug.
Just a virtual hug is enough. Just sit down.
She does. It hurts, doesn't it?
I can tell you breaking ribs is not fun.
Well, honestly, Baker, what have you been doing?
Stopping that more people will die.
You always were the hero, so what did you do? Did you wrestle that bear?
Not quite. But in the end, we saved kind of Miss Martin. She's in hospital now.
Oh, she was wrestling the bear?
No, she was not. She was
I'm
struggling.
not moving until you tell me what the story is.
To be quite honest, I highly doubt you want to have the truth. You want to sleep well at night. You don't want this. Believe me.
She gets really earnest and she says, I've never seen you like this. What happened? Well, no, if you don't want to tell me, then don't tell me, but you will be all right, right?
Yes, I'm
And things
fine.
will be all right, right?
Well, we both still have some work to do. We thought you will collect the name of the board for the school, and we need to make sure Brightwood leaves. I think that is a goal we both are really happy to work on. We need to talk to the board that the school is a wonderful place, that we are willing to invest, that most of the teachers are perfect. Clearly the French teacher needs to be... we find a new one, because Miss Martel will not come back, I'm quite sure.
Well, I mean, I guess she's now got a phobia of bears and
Yeah.
probably forests and this place.
Yeah, next to her being sick, I highly doubt she'll come back. And I think the school would be in much better hand if Miss Littlewood would be the lead of the school. She's tough, but she's fair.
And everyone will start smoking.
No, she will not allow the students to smoke. Maybe
Yeah.
the other teachers might be allowed to do that, but not the students, which is okay, honestly. I totally respect that.
I'm gonna get Bob involved because his family knows just as many people as you, your family, and my family.
Perfect.
Between the three of us, we're going to get this board. And I mean, he was saying that he wanted to make some charitable donations, so
I will also talk with my parents. They have influences, especially my mother, as hard as it for me, but I think she would be interested to see what happened here because she respects the school a lot. She holds her hand upon this and saying it was the best school I was at, and she wants to support it, I'm quite sure. Out of game, I could also imagine her mother was in that school as well before, so...
Yeah. That just came to my mind that this
I
is
think that
very
would fit,
likely.
that she sent her daughter to the same wonderful school. And then we need to find a place for the prizes.
Oh yes, on that, I spoke to Mrs. Price, and they have left. But at the moment, they have actually gone to New York.
Mm-hmm.
She has a sister there,
Okay.
and so she's going to stay with them. But I took the liberty of giving her your phone number so that she can reach you in New York, because it's going to be a lot easier for you to do something in New York for them than it would be for me from Arlington.
Obviously, I know enough people there. We will find something for her.
Yes, and I mean, she is... I have already told Miss Brightwood that I expect to get a reference for her before I leave. And I'm going to read that reference. And if this reference isn't what I want it to be, by God, if it's the last thing I will do, I will sit her down and I will hold a knife to her throat and I'm going to make her write it again and again and again and again.
Just waive the money for her. She wants the school. Just tell her that if she wants any kind of money from any of us, she needs to write a good reference.
All right, but the knife thing would be a lot funner.
I know, but let her dangle a bit, because then she thinks we will fund the school, which we are, but she doesn't know the if and whens that's tied to it.
Considering that you have several broken ribs, you are still as sharp as always, although you do look like hell.
Well, I didn't fall on my head, luckily, so this...
No, you did that
was
years ago.
still
Everybody
working.
will concur. No, but okay. But this is a very good thing to do, and this is a very good idea. I will do that, and I think I will leave you now because you do look like you're going to fall asleep on me any second now, and your eyelids are start drooping now.
The tablets. I don't know what is in there, but yeah, I'm a bit.
Oh, didn't she tell you?
I didn't ask. I just
morphine.
trust her. Okay, I suspected something like that. Just say goodbye before you leave, please.
I will.
And Alice
night.
will just curl up. Will
Yeah.
just
And
fall
you
asleep
curl
again.
up, and as you wake up, you have no idea. You've lost time has lost its meaning. Of course, Dottie is again sitting next to you. This time she's actually holding your hand, feeling your pulse.
Mm-hmm.
And as you open your eyes, she says, well, your pulse is strong, so the morphine is doing its job without harming your body, but you can't have any more today. You feel like hell. The pain is excruciating.
Well, I don't want to get addicted to that stuff, so...
No, you don't. So, but here's something to eat. I thought we might try some soup now.
Okay.
Chicken and stars.
Okay. Alice will not fight against it. She will just go along with A, she doesn't have the energy to fight Dottie.
No, you have zero energy.
And B, I will listen to her because I know she's doing everything to make me feel better. So,
So she is. So you're getting spoonfuls of soup offered, and the soup is of course quite tasty. She says, "Well, you know, I didn't want to take any chances. I made this myself." Miss Gordon looked at me weirdly, but then I reminded her that I am a cook myself, and then she let me at it. It's nice. It tastes really good. It kind of does remind you of home a little because it is made by Dottie, and yeah, it does revive you. But she says, "Oh, all right, so 1 bowl of soup and 2 slices of toast, at least." But let's just start like this and see how it goes. And once you have finished the toast, she says, "Would you like some coffee?"
am I allowed to drink coffee?
Yes,
Then yes,
just
please.
the one, but yes. And she gives you some coffee, and it's the coffee that you brought, and it tastes really lovely, and it tastes nice, and it smells great. And then she says, Miss Penny is going to leave tonight, and she has asked to see you before.
Yes.
So would it be all right if I sent her up now?
Sure, she's always welcome. Also, the question is, when will we both leave?
Well, you're going to spend tonight in this bed, and then tomorrow we're going to leave.
Okay.
And then she leaves, and and then you hear a knock, and it's Penny, and she's brought Alexandra, and Alex looks at you and she says loudly to Penny, "You weren't joking. She looks like hell."
Thank you for the compliment. I am alive.
And she gives you a very broad grin.
Don't make me laugh. That's not a good thing to do.
I'm so sorry, and you can tell that she actually means it. She didn't realize that this was going to be the consequence. And then Penny basically says, "I will not hug you, but I will give you a kiss." And she kisses you lightly on the cheek and says, "And next time we will not wait almost 10 years before we meet again."
Well, I guess the ladies always probably at the beginning already exchanged address and phone number and everything.
Yeah.
Well, we will phone each other when we are back home and make plans. Maybe give me a few weeks to be back on my feet.
Yes, of course.
But then I would be happy to either have you as guest or visit you.
Yeah, that is a deal. And then she says, "Well, and I've spoken to Miss Brightwood, and I read the reference, and she didn't even have to rewrite it. It was a good one.
That is good.
Mrs. Price will not have any problems finding a job with this reference.
Perfect. And, we need to stay in contact anyhow to update each other and how far we got on the board.
Well, yes, I've got the names. So Dottie gave me a list, and I copied it. Alex has already made another copy of it, and we're going to send it to Bob as soon as we see a post office, and then we will see. But we will not be taking that much longer because the new term starts on the 1st of February. So I think we shouldn't be doing anything while the children are back for their final exams in January. We don't want to upset the story and the balance, and I think they should just sit their exams. But as soon as this is over, we will move. But we should inform the board that we would like an extraordinary meeting of the board.
That sounds like a good idea.
To discuss, and I was thinking we could say discuss the financial future of the institute.
But wouldn't be Brightwood invited to a board like that?
It depends on who's asking. If your mother was to ask.
Well, I will call her.
She could convene it at her house. I mean, the board members are all in New York, I checked. All New York addresses.
Well, it would give me enough time to be fit enough to walk in there without looking worse than before. Yeah.
Good.
Let's do that. And in parallel, also maybe talk to one or two board members to give them already some ideas.
Well, I mean, you can check out the list and see if you know any of them that might be suitable for you. I honestly don't know any of them. I know the names, of course.
Well,
but being from Boston,
maybe.
But Bob might know one or two of them because he's originally from New York.
I will also try my best. Maybe also my mom knows. I'm quite sure she knows a few of these people. And
I'm pretty sure she does.
Well, she knows everyone in higher rank society.
The question is, why isn't she on the board?
I have honestly no idea. I never asked her.
Well,
didn't
maybe
even
give her that idea.
I'm not sure I will think about it.
Do that.
Have a safe trip home, you two.
You too. And she waves at you. And Alex also says, it was lovely meeting you. Have a safe trip.
You too. Take care of her.
I will. It's sometimes not easy.
I can't imagine.
And the two of them leave. And then after a while, Dottie comes back. And she says, well, so, can you eat some more? Just a slice of toast?
Yes.
Okay, so so this time it's going to be toasted though, and I'm going to give you butter, and there's going to be marmalade. So she leaves again, and she comes back with 3 slices of toast and marmalade and butter, and
probably Alice would have called after maybe a cup of tea.
Yes, of course, no problem. You're going to get tea. And she brings back a tray with the food, and she sits next to you and she hands you the stuff because movement-wise you are very restricted still. Yeah. And she also informs you that this isn't going to change anytime soon. And then she says, all right, so tomorrow morning we're going to be picked up at 7 o'clock because there's a train from Bangor to Boston and then on to New York at 10.
Okay.
So we have to leave at 7, so I'm going to wake you at 6.
Fine.
All right. Will you be okay?
Well, I would need some help that you might have to pack my stuff because I can't. And also it's
already done.
If you could pack Irene's...
It's already done.
Why am I even asking? Thank you.
So she points to the bedside table. She says there is water. Can you see for me if you can reach it?
Alice will stretch and see if it works.
It works. It's
hurtful, but
yeah. But you can actually get to it. And she says, "All right." So that's all right. So you've got water. Yes. If you need anything, I'm just across the hall. I expect you to yell.
Before you leave, just to be curious, did you find the other half of my cane? Or my gun?
Your gun? When did you drop that? Oh, yes, because when did you drop that? Oh, yes, you did, didn't you?
The thing made
She
me drop
rolled a
it right in front
100
of
on
the
her
house.
luck check. No.
No.
No, I didn't.
Then it's a question if by any chance you could have a look. It should be around the Price's house.
All right, I'm going to go and look. But you have to
Thank
sleep
you,
now.
dear. I will, thank you.
Let's see if she's better this time round. Because she rolled a 100 on her luck, can you imagine?
That's not good.
11!
That's much
Strike!
better.
Yes, she has a luck of 51.
Okay.
She does find it.
Good.
That's
good.
that's actually a critical. She does find it.
Good. Okay.
Or she finds them. She finds both pieces.
Yeah, because she just has the pointy bit of the cane. The rest she dropped quite sure, because if not, she would have had to hold it in her hand.
So you go to sleep. You wake
Yes.
up at 6 o'clock. You get ready. You go downstairs. It's difficult. It's wobbly. She's holding on to you, and she says as soon as you're on the train, she's going to give you morphine. But she doesn't want you to be on morphine when you're being driven. Even when you're being driven, because you still need to be able to get on the train. But then you're going to be on the train for 6 hours, and it'll be fine.
I will get through
arrive.
this.
You get on the train. She is trying to make you comfortable. You've got a compartment, the two of you, and she gives you morphine.
Okay.
Just the one.
The question is, would Alice take it or not? If it was bearable so far, I think
you can make a con roll minus 20. If you succeed that one, then you think you can bear it.
Minus 20, I'm not.
Yeah.
Then I will take it.
Mm-hmm. Do you appear to be hesitating?
Yeah.
She says half.
Maybe.
Okay. She breaks it apart because they have these cuts, and she breaks it apart quite easily, and she says, so take it, drink something, and then you have to eat something. I'm pretty sure that you will not be going to sleep with this on this dose, but it's going to take a while to kick in. But it'll kick in eventually.
Alice is fine with that.
Okay, so at this time it's she's upgraded you to sandwiches now.
Ooh.
And you have some, and she also has some, and every so often she, as you sit there, she glances at you, and every so often she reaches for your pulse to check if it's how it's doing, and she seems to be okay with your progress.
I'm not dying in front of you, don't worry.
Well, let me be the judge of that.
Okay.
I'm not afraid that you're dying, but this is morphine. It will affect your heart. So it is important that we don't make any mistakes.
True. That's why I was hesitant.
Because I will have a hard time explaining this to your mother. Can you just imagine the coroner's report?
Overdose of morphine.
Stuffed to the gills with morphine and several broken ribs. How am I going to explain this? They might even have me for manslaughter. So no, I'm not taking any chances, Miss Alice.
Don't worry. As soon as I can live without that, I'm happy to go without that.
Yes. And so she basically settles back, and she every so often she glances over to you, but she also takes out a book.
I'll probably just look outside, because I'm not feeling like, usually she would take out her notebook and make notes or any, she's not feeling like that. So she will just look outside, probably in mind, going a bit through what happened, and just hoping that everything goes all right with Miss Littlewood and Miss Martin, that a bad thing isn't coming out again.
It probably, this is going to be interesting to hear what she tells you, because you probably imagine that as soon as she starts feeding her, she will turn. But as long as she then stays calm.
Yeah, the worry is that one day Alice will get the note that Littlewood has disappeared.
Yeah, we shall see.
That will be the worry. So she will keep close contact
Yeah.
definitely to Littlewood, and as soon as she's possible to move a bit better, she will go for the next library to
Mhm.
find
Okay, so but
anything
first
she can.
you arrive in New York. You take a taxi. It takes you home. The
Mm-hmm.
taxi driver has to carry 3 sets of luggage because yours, Dottie's, which is the smallest one, and
And
Irene's, which
Irene's.
is, and he puts it into and then Dottie helps you up the stairs because that really is difficult. And then she says, "All right. So, how are you feeling? How's the pain?"
It's there.
Mm-hmm. I think you should eat something. This time I'm going to cook something light, but you do need to eat. And
Mm-hmm.
then we can make a decision if you want to have another half pill.
Okay.
So why don't you make yourself comfortable in the salon? I don't recommend that you climb the stairs now, and I'll just get to work on some food.
I will just in the salon probably turn on a record.
Mm-hmm.
Or the radio. Yeah, at the time I think that yeah, they
Yeah.
already had radio. I will just turn on
Mm-hmm.
radio because with the vinyl it will just end and it will be annoying. So radio
Mm-hmm.
on and she will just cozy up on the couch.
Mm-hmm. You do feel exhausted, so this
Yeah.
is because the pain is make, and even when you do go to sleep without medical help, or with, I mean, even with medicine, it's not that kind of sleep that gives you as much energy as you normally would. You do regenerate 1 health, so you're now at 4,
Okay.
but it is terrible. But you do kind of, you have now managed to find a position that is halfway,
Bearable.
not killing you instantaneously with the pain. And then after a while, Dottie comes back and she says, she looks around and you can see that she's checking the interior of the room and kind of like, all right, so I'm going to move this here and then you can sit there and yeah. All right, so you just stay put. And she starts moving a little bit of the furniture around, so that you have one of those smallish tables that she pulls close to your sofa, and
Mm-hmm.
then she goes out and she comes back with food. She also brings food for herself. It's soup, it's sandwiches, and she's also brought some sweet stuff. So it's a 3-course meal, as it were. And she eats quite a lot. You don't even know when you saw her eat last. You have
Mm-hmm.
no idea how she has been keeping up, and she eats a lot actually. And you are also quite hungry, not unnaturally hungry, but you are hungry. And then she says, "All right, so that was good. I'm actually glad that we're back. That was quite something."
I am sorry we had to go through this.
What are you apologizing for? It's not like it was your idea. Unless, of
No.
course, it was, and this was an elaborate scheme to make you
It
look
was
like a heroine again.
oh god, no. I'm not asking for these kind of things. Well, something seems to send me these kind of things, but
Yeah. Maybe we should read your horoscope more often. And when it says, "Stay at home, there are demons out there," you should stay at home because there are demons out there.
at the
Maybe we
moment,
need an exorcism for you. Maybe not.
well, I have no idea why these things are happening, and I try not to think too much about what is out there that we don't even know about.
Well, I've been doing some thinking, and I've been thinking about all of the fairy tales that I was read to when I was just little.
Yeah.
The Wendigo wasn't in one of them, but there were plenty of things in those that, if they exist, I would find it very difficult to ever leave the house again. So let's not think about this.
I'm just suspecting that here in the middle of the city, not so much ghost baby, but nothing else. It's loud and dirty, not much nature.
I heard that there are crocodiles in the sewers.
Well, that's not supernatural, that is just stupidity of humans losing their pets that should be pets.
At this, she actually laughs and she says, "Yeah, can you just imagine somebody losing their pet crocodile?"
people are sometimes stupid because probably there are also snakes crawling around down there that shouldn't be there. But that I can deal with because I don't plan on going into the sewers.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
We both shouldn't. That is not a place for us. That can be a job for someone else.
Yes, I had no intention of doing that. And then she looks at you and she says, do you think we can sleep without, or would you like another half pill?
Should I roll again to see, or can I decide?
No, just tell me what you're
She
feeling.
would, if she can bear through the pain, she will not take it. So as soon as it's some kind of halfway,
I think you are so stubborn
Yeah.
that you would really not want it, because you do know that it's going to be highly addictive, and trying to get off of it is going to be very difficult.
yeah, because she's fine with alcohol, she's fine with cigarettes, with smoking, cigars, that's fine, but that is something she doesn't want to dabble with because she's seen people going down the wrong road.
Yeah.
So she will be, let's try without. If it's getting too horrible, we can still, but I would really try without.
All
Back
right.
home makes everything a bit better already.
It does, doesn't it? So, let's say it's now approaching 10 o'clock. You are getting really tired. So, she will help you upstairs. She will help you get into bed. And she will now place the bell that she once gave you when she gave you breakfast in bed because you had to go to your mother's ball. And she'll put it in within easy reach on your bedside table. She will provide you with water. And she says, and if anything during the night, you ring that bell, my door will be open and I will leave yours open as well.
Understood.
And I'm now going to go downstairs. I'm going to check every single window and the doors to make sure that they're all locked.
Thank you so much.
Then I will check in again and assure you that they are all locked, and then I'll go to bed myself. And tomorrow, we don't have to get up at 7.
That is an extra big thank you.
And then she leaves and she comes back telling you that everything has been shut, and she goes to bed and you can hear her footsteps walking away. Yeah, and so what do? This is your first night back. You are knackered. What are your plans? Or do you just go to sleep? Or do you just think about it?
I think in her mind she knows what has to be done, but she needs to at least get a tiny bit better before doing either one of them, because she's for sure not in the right set of mind and body to telephone her mother.
No.
She's definitely not ready to go outside to run through a library looking for books or searching for Irene's address, and that just has to wait a few days. So I think she will just try to get as much rest as possible and get well as quick as possible.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fast forward about 5 days. During those 5 days, you are getting, well, the thing is, this will go on for several months.
Yeah.
It's going to take a long time. The main thing is to be able to actually breathe and try to breathe normally. Walking will be very difficult because simply you don't have enough air to support yourself along. But I would say after the first 7 days, you can feel that it's improving. You are still young, so your bones will knit quickly.
Yeah.
And during that time, you basically, Dottie watches over you like a hawk. There is no way you can leave the house. She won't let you. And so with food, with TLC as it were, you are getting better, and especially you're getting stronger as well, because you're now starting to sleep again. Good. You regenerate all your health except for 2 points, because they will linger for a couple of months, but it's just because you still are not fully recovered.
Okay.
And then there are a couple of things when I think of the list. You wanted to ring your mother to find out if to talk to her about the board.
Yeah, that would be something that she would do quickly as soon as she feels like she can talk halfway decent on the phone, and will be able to not crash and collapse after 5 minutes talking to her mother. So that would be the first thing, because she doesn't have to leave the house for that. So
no. So you ring your mother. It rings. Hopkins answers the phone. The Baker residence.
Well, Alice here.
Oh,
Hopkins,
Miss Alice.
is my mother in?
Of course.
Could I speak to her, please?
Of course. Just give me a minute. And he puts down the receiver, walks away. You hear, after several minutes, you hear footsteps, which are definitely your mother's gate. And she picks up the receiver and she says, Alice! What a nice surprise!
Mother, I just came back from a school reunion.
From a oh! That is... Now, isn't that nice?
Well, it was really nice to meet up with a few of my fellow students and seeing some of the teachers from before.
I didn't know you were going. That is interesting. So, how is the old school? How is Miss Brightwood? I hear that she's the managing director now.
Sadly so, yes. That is
What do you
one
mean,
of the
sadly
problems.
so? She was such a good English teacher.
Yeah, she is a good teacher. She's a horrible lead. She tried to tell the cook that the food that she planned to buy was the wrong food. You don't do that.
Your mother breathes in and then she
because
breathes
she would
out.
never do that with our cook.
Are you sure that you didn't misunderstand something there, dear?
The cook wanted to poison us all. That was the face-to-face talk with the cook that I had. She was not even angry is an understatement. And there are more and more things that Miss Brightwood has not under control. The school needs renovation money. They definitely need funds. That's why I'm calling you, because I know you also have connection to the school, and I'm quite sure you know a few of the board members. Probably much better. I just know them by name.
Oh, to be quite honest, I never really kept in touch with the school itself. I mean, I have been paying every so often. I would be getting a letter, and we would, of course, pay. So you're saying that they still need more money?
Yeah, I don't know what Brightwood is doing with the money, but the house needs renovations. The school itself is still wonderful. There are still wonderful teachers there. They sadly just lost a French teacher, but I guess they will be able to manage to get a new one. But
well, darling, how about? Well, I mean that sounds like there is something amiss there. Maybe they've been embezzling funds. Richard,
Mother, I would love to get your help on this. Some of us students
of course,
already decided that we want to talk to the board members and make an offer that we will give money, but they need to exchange who's leading the school, because Brightwood clearly is not capable of this. She's a good teacher, yes, but she's not able to work well with people. And honestly, someone leading the school needs to be tough, but also able to work with people. And she's not good with that. And also with the money, I'm not sure where it goes. It would be nice if you would help as well and use your connections. I can give you the name of the board members.
Of course.
We shouldn't make a hasty change. The students should have their final exams beginning of the year.
Quite right.
But after that, for the next school year, we should see and make a change. And I would honestly say that Miss Littlewood would be the perfect match to lead the school. She's been there forever. She's tough. But
well, I remember her from... She would send me those letters about you.
She's still there. She's still her marvelous self. One of the best teachers I ever had.
Well, dear,
just think about it. Maybe
the only thing that I can say about you is that you never were a bad judge of character. So if you are telling me that this person is unable to fulfill this very important role in the school, then I will take your word for it. If you give me those names, dear.
Yes, I will.
And you can hear that she basically
I will
starts,
read the names to her.
and then as she's writing, she's like, "Oh, I wonder if that's the Long Island Smiths."
Because I know you know people, and maybe we can arrange.
Yeah, I mean there are
board
3
meeting.
names that I definitely know, and then there's this Smith family, Long Island Smiths. I'm just wondering. I mean, they have daughters that might have gone there. I mean, they are older than you, so you would not know them. They're in their 40s, but I could imagine that maybe. Well, leave it to me, and I will see. I will get in contact with the people that I do know from this list, and I will just let them know that you have been to a school reunion, and you have been telling me that the school could do with some renovations, and that I've decided to donate, and that they should donate as well. And also inquiring if they what kind of a I don't know what kind of a sum we're looking at, because as the board they should have an idea, and then we will take it from there, darling.
That would be lovely. As I said, we have a few more from my school time that would be willing to invest in the school, because it is a fantastic school. As much as I was bickering about being sent there, I learned a lot, and it was a great time there. I learned so much.
Yes, dear, I will do this. And your father would like to speak to you. Richard, it's your daughter.
Alice will just be like, that was probably the most constructive talk with a mother in years, and they didn't even
possibly
have a
the
fight.
Longest. Yeah. And he's like, so Alice, what's happening?
Well, I was at my old school out in the middle of nowhere on a school reunion, and I just talked to Mother about that the school needs help. Well, obviously financially.
Yes, your mother looks very
and there needs
chipper. What have you been telling her?
Well, the school needs some changes. The leader of the school is not doing a really good job, to be honest.
Oh, that explains her positive reaction to a phone call with you.
So I just asked her, because we students already, at least most of us students, we are willing to give money, but only in connection to changing the lead of the school. And I know a few names from the board list that I knew Mom has connections to. Maybe she can help, because we really want to talk to the board, because it's a good school. It needs all the support, but not with that person in the lead. Also, what I didn't tell Mom, because I didn't even honestly have the chance. Just to warn you, I'm stuck at home for a bit because, well, I rode a horse and it did not go too well. I have...
You fell off.
Yeah, I have a broken rib, which is hurtful.
Alice.
But, well, I'm home in one piece and I just have to be careful for the next day. So no big party for me, I guess.
Well, yes, broken ribs are nothing to be trifled with. How about you just rest up?
I don't have much other chance. Dottie is looking out for me like a hawk.
Well, yeah, it's a good thing you've got that girl with you, isn't
yes,
it?
It is.
So, do you think you will be on the mend enough to come for the Christmas party? It's just a small thing. I think your mother is going to invite about 50 people.
You know.
I mean, I can make an excuse for you. I can say you fell off your horse and fell on your head. She will believe me.
My head is still in one piece. How much days, weeks would it be until Christmas from now?
Well, I mean, I just did some maths in my head, considering
3
that you would
weeks, 4 weeks.
It's now December.
Yeah, it's beginning of December, isn't
It's
it?
beginning of December, yeah.
So 3 to 4 weeks.
So it's going to be on the 20th, because obviously it's not going to happen during the
3
actual
weeks.
holidays. So yeah, 3 weeks.
I honestly can't promise. It depends on how I'm progressing, I guess, but I can try at least to have a short visit if Mother is okay with me not looking too fine and not being able to walk.
Well, there won't be any
easily.
dancing. It will be food, like big table food. You If you can hold a conversation for 10 minutes, you'll be fine. She will probably be seating you between two very desperate young men.
Not surprising. I will try to be there. If not, I will definitely call and tell you. Just give me the details when.
I'm going to ask Hopkins to send you the information now. You would have been getting an invitation anyway, but it's all written down already. I think the invitations are outside. I'm just going to ask him to pop one in the post for you.
Thank you so much, but I will plan it in and then we will see each other.
Yes, indeed. And you take care.
You too. I hope I
didn't fall off that horse.
True. I just hope that Mother is now not going crazy over this. But
I won't be telling her. You just have to try and walk upright when you're here.
I will try my best.
Okay.
Take care.
And you too. And he hangs up. And so that's number 1 done. The other thing is Irene. I mean, there are 2 things you can do. You can either try and find out if this address has a phone number associated with it and ring, or you can wait until you're better and make a personal call. That is your decision.
She will wait to make a personal call. That is nothing she wants to do on the phone. That feels completely wrong to her. So she will wait until she's fit enough to at least leave the house and get into a cab. Even if it's still hurtful, but at least that she's that far to drive out there.
Okay. And the last thing is that actually you do receive a phone call from Mrs. Price.
Okay.
And she tells you, first of all, she thanks you because she has been told that you were instrumental in having her husband's remains released. And he will be buried in his native Bangor, and she is going there with her daughter. And she has also actually found a place to work. Remember the 1001 Gardens? Remember the person who gifted it to you?
Yeah.
They are indeed gardeners themselves. And they, as chance would have it, they were looking, where they work was looking for basically a housemaid, and she applied and she got the job.
Well, congratulations. If you need any help, anything, just give me a call.
Yes, of course. I just wanted to thank you, Miss Baker, because and also thank you for the money. It really made a difference when we first came here, and I was able to give my sister at least something. My sister has 3 children of her own, and so any contribution that I could make was...
You are very welcome. Your husband was such a great help when I was at school, and also during our visit. I'm really sorry that this happened. But now it's important that you and the little one are getting back on your feet, and she's a smart one. She will outshine everyone in the future.
And and I've put some money forward for her to go to school. So she's going to start school in January.
She will enjoy learning things, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, I hope so too. And then she rings off, and then you're wondering, how much did Penny give her on your behalf?
Let's see. Probably after this call, Alice would give, maybe not directly, but maybe later in the day or the next day, she would give Penny a call.
The phone is answered by Alex, and she says, was it Thompson or Thornton, her last name? Thompson, wasn't it?
Wait. I have the list open. It's Thompson.
The Thompson residence.
Alice here. Hi, Alexandra.
Oh, Miss Alice. How are you doing? How are the ribs? And don't laugh.
Yeah, laughing is still hurtful, but at least I can slowly move around the house without the help of Dottie. It's progress. You
I can
made
imagine.
It home in one piece, as it seems.
Yes, we did. We did. But I suppose you want to speak with Miss Penny.
That would
Let me
be
just get
lovely
her.
if she's there. Thank you so much.
Yes. And you can hear footsteps, and then Penny approaches, picks up the... Baker, how are you doing? How are the ribs?
Hurting, but I'm still alive.
Well, that's good to hear. So, what's the news? I sent the list to Bob, and he really does actually know one member of the board on it. And I asked him to, and I dictated a letter to him, which he's going to send, or which he's already sent, about how he wants to make a donation on behalf of his dear wife, and how he can be sure that the money is put to good use, and he wants to see the books. I was trying to get him to not write that part, but he's a businessman. He likes books. So, how's it going with your dear mother?
Well, Mother will help. She knows a few people
I
on the
knew it.
board, and she will try to pull some strings. Let's see with what she can come back. And she is willing to give money and to change. The thing is, she has a good memory of Brightwood, but only obviously as a teacher, because during her time,
Don't
she
we
was
all?
only a teacher, and she was never a bad teacher. She's just not the right to lead a school, because she
And she's a right bitch.
is a horrible person, to put it in a nice way. You are more on point. So let's see. As soon as I hear from my mother anything, I will let you know. And if you hear anything from Bob on feedback, that would be lovely as well. Also, just for you, I had a short call with Miss Price.
Oh, how is she getting on? Did she get the money?
Yes. And how much on earth did you give her?
Well, I figured that maybe she needs some capital to start her out. You never know. I mean, yes, she does have a sister, but God knows what financial position that sister is in. I don't know. And then I thought she could put some money towards educating her daughter, so I sent her $300. Well, I said it was from you.
Yes, she thanked me. I just said, you're welcome. Well,
You're very smart.
the money was well needed. Her sister has 3 kids on her own anyhow.
Oh my God.
So extra money was handy, and the little one will start school soon. So the money is
Very
well
good.
invested, and Miss Price found a job. So all is
It
well.
seems like all's well, although it started so badly.
Yeah, they will go back to Bangos for the funeral, which will be in a few days. And I would love to attend, but honestly, I'm not fit enough to go out there at the moment.
No, you should just stay put for once. Just stay put.
But yeah, so how's life treating you? You made it back in one piece.
Yes, we made it back in one piece. And, well, I mean, to be quite honest, I've been taking this as an excuse to not do anything. So for the last couple of, well, it's now been 2 weeks, we've just enjoyed life.
That's the right thing to do.
We've been to a couple of concerts and charity dues, but very, like only the good stuff. And Alex, basically, she's been cooking, and I don't know, she's just been doing stuff around the house. I just noticed that there are 2 paintings that I haven't seen before. I'll have to ask about those, but they are good. They look nice on the wall. Not that I know the first thing about art, but they look nice on the wall.
Then it's a good art if it looks nice in your eyes.
You see, the thing is, she goes to galleries and she comes back with stuff. Go figure. I mean, art.
It's always wonderful to dabble in art.
Well, you know me. I was never like that. I was not like you, but then again, I spent my detention differently.
You did. It's not that hard to get into art.
Yes, well, I was, when Alex starts talking about art, my eyes just glaze over.
Oh. Yeah, that is lost on you as it seems, but well, at least one
Yes,
in your
totally.
house.
I mean, she has been pestering me, now that we know someone in New York, she's been pestering me that she needs to go because she wants to go to the Met. Is there a way you can get her into the Met? Like, show her the real stuff?
Sure.
Do you know somebody at the Met?
Yes, I do, so it's not a problem.
Good. Good, because otherwise my head's gonna explode.
You're always welcome. Whenever you want to
Yeah.
come by, or also if you just want to send her, she's welcome as well, I'm quite sure.
She's gonna talk your ear off talking about art. I'm just warning you now.
You don't know how much I love to talk about art, so probably it will be interesting.
How about we just swap and Dottie comes to live with me?
I highly doubt Dottie will leave my side in the next weeks.
That's true. That's true. No, but I mean, I will let her know that in the new year, because before Christmas things are going to be like we will have to go down to Dallas, But I think that's a deal because I think the problem is that she sometimes feels intellectually starved when she's with me. Can you imagine? She even said it. Not that I hold it against her, but I mean, seriously, paintings, books.
It's one of the most important things you have in culture, next to music.
Yes. Well, I like the theater.
Theater is lovely as well, but art and books, especially books. Books are the basis for everything, also theater.
Oh, she's been channeling you. Alex has been channeling Alice Baker. This is just what I need.
There are more people like me minded out there that love books and art. So the good thing is I also love theater, so we still have some common ground.
Well, of course, I mean, we will always have common ground. I watched you wrestle a bear, remember? Well, kind of in my head. I mean, I'm kind of imagining you wrestling a bear. It's still, but hey.
It is like it is.
It is like it is. So I'll leave you to it. I will be in touch before Christmas, but like I said, we will be in Texas, and Bob's going to pull out all the stops. He's going to invite everyone he's ever met on his oil fields. My God, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm not complaining because he's going to donate money to the school, and he's hopefully going to help your mother get rid of that little Brightwood person and replace her with Littlewood.
That would be fantastic. Just drop me a hint or give me a short call before you go to Dallas and give me
Of course
the
I will.
number,
Of course I will.
so
Yeah.
I know where to call if anything comes up, because I will
I can give you the number now, and she gives you a Dallas phone number.
A family Christmas dinner, so latest then I might hear something from her mother.
That's excellent. And she rings off. Okay. Another week passes. You feel much better. You can get into a taxi.
Then we will go to the address where that we got for Irene.
Okay, you arrive at the address. It's a townhouse like yours, not in the same district, but it's quite well kept. It's a nice row of houses. You ring the bell.
Yeah.
The door opens, and you see a woman that you've seen before in the picture.
Okay.
Yes.
Sibyl, I guess.
Yes. Do I know you?
I am Alice Baker. I went to school with Irene.
You went to school with Irene. Why don't you step inside? I'm sorry for my manners. Please.
And I guess, is Dottie with me? I guess
Dottie
so.
is with you. Yeah.
And this is my assistant, Dorothy Williams.
Nice to meet you, Miss Williams. Why don't you step inside?
Because Dottie has to carry the stuff, because Alice can't.
Okay, so yeah, of course you've got them. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Would you like to come through to the salon?
Sure, thank you.
Please take a seat.
Alice carefully, very carefully, will sit down.
Can I offer you any refreshments? Tea, coffee, water?
Tea would be lovely, if it's not too much of a hassle.
No, not at all. She gets up, she wasn't even sitting down to begin with. She goes out and comes back about 15, 20 minutes later with a tray with tea, biscuits, milk, sugar. She pours tea for the three of you, and she sits down and she says, "So, you were at school with Irene?"
Yes, and I was at the reunion.
I see.
So, first of all, I'm sorry for your loss.
Loss?
They did not inform you?
Who are they and inform me of what?
The police.
No. The police.
If you would just sit down, please.
She sits down.
There was an accident at the reunion. You know she went there, didn't you?
I did.
A bear was rampant and killed 2 people. One of them was Irene.
A bear
Yes.
killed Irene.
Yes. I'm really sorry for your loss. I really thought the police would inform the next of kind, but they didn't. I should have called much earlier, but I was looking down at her, hurt and injured. I couldn't get earlier here.
Well, next of kin would be her parents, and they would not be likely to tell me. I was her assistant.
I know you were important. That much we got from her.
I'm sorry. This is a lot to take in.
We will leave you. We brought her stuff. Because...
Her stuff?
Well, she had a few personal belongings back at school. We didn't want to leave it there or just throw it out because...
And you've got them?
Yes. She will nod to what Dottie was carrying. I think it's best in your hands. There are things in there that you will cherish quite surely.
How come they never went to her parents, but you took them?
The police didn't care. We were allowed to take them. And I wanted to, honestly, make sure to find you and give it to you.
How do you know of me?
Go through the things and you will know why. You were important to Irene. Very important. I don't know what happened between you, but she was struggling when she was out there.
Make a psychology roll.
Okay. No.
Okay, she failed hers too. She says her parents happened. And I must ask you to leave now.
I will put down my card on the... Probably there's a table where the tea is standing on. If you want to talk later on or have more questions, don't hesitate to contact me.
I will probably take you up on this offer, but at the moment, I'm afraid I am unable to converse with you.
Totally fine. I'm really, really sorry that we had to bring you these news. And Alice will get up and we can find a way out. Don't worry about that.
She picks up the card and she says, Miss Baker, I'm glad that someone told me.
I am sorry Irene had to be in this difficult situation, that their parents did not work with her, but against her, as it seems. She was lucky to have you.
She was a musician. She was a great artist.
We were blessed enough that she played a bit for us when we were in the school. She is an amazing pianist.
Yeah. And she wipes at her eyes briefly.
We will leave now. If you, as I said, if you want to talk or have questions or just need company, just give me a call.
You can see that she basically puts your card on the mantelpiece, and then she turns towards the items that you brought.
Yeah.
And Dottie is already at the door. She's opened the front door and she's waiting for you to step outside.
We would just leave, and we would probably, well, I don't know how far, where in the city it is, but usually you can grab a cab as long as it's daytime.
You find a cab.
Yeah.
And you find a cab and you get in. And you drive home, where you arrive. Well, that was something else.
Well, it seems like Irene's parents did not support her choice of partnership.
Yes. And to know and then not to tell.
That's a horrible decision to do.
If you hadn't done this, she wouldn't know.
No, she probably would have thought Irene ran away or decided to follow her parents or whatever. I can only imagine what is happening there in the back. Because obviously Irene cared very, very, very much for Sibyl.
I suppose that finding out that she's dead is going to devastate her, but not knowing would have devastated her even more.
At least now she knows that Irene did not run away or leave her, and not just never communicated with her again, because that must be horrible. This way at least she can maybe find some closure.
Yes. Yeah, it was... Yeah, let's just hope that she finds closure. It's going to take a while, I'm sure.
I hope she contacts us. And we can have a talk in peace and quiet with her again.
I'm pretty sure she will. Saw what she did with the card. Put it on the mantelpiece.
Poor Irene. Really sorry. Just as the same for Price. That they had to pay with their life.
Yes, and you saved another life, though.
Well,
If Mademoiselle Martin can work through this, even if she never gets back to the way she used to, at least you saved one life.
I can't just kill something when knowing who it really is. If it would have been just a wild beast, period, I think I would not be hesitant, but this way. Especially since she can't remember what she's doing, which is probably a blessing, because I don't know how you would live with yourself if you remember exactly what you did to Price or Irene.
Yeah, I wonder if Littlewood is going to tell her.
I think
She's going...
time by time, bit by bit, yes. Because she needs to understand the full severity of the situation and the danger she is causing. She needs to be careful.
We will see, but I'm pretty sure that sooner or later Littlewood will get in touch with you and will inform you of what's going on. I'm surprised that she hasn't done so now, but maybe she did the old-fashioned thing and wrote you a letter.
Maybe. I think in the next days we should visit some of the libraries and see if we can find anything on Wendigos.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we will get some raised eyebrows, but we will just ask for, well, myth and stories, especially of Native American nature, and see if we can find anything.
Well, I suppose that there are people that are studying these things a lot more differently now than they might have done a couple of even years ago.
Yeah, I hope so.
We should maybe also talk to the university.
I would like to just find if there are people specialized on that field, it would be easier to just talk to them or get recommendations on books even before we are searching through all the books in the library, because there are a lot in the official public library.
Well, how about we just think about this and then make plans for the next couple of days. I mean, we can even check out the what's on offer at the university.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think this is what we should try and do, and then take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you arrive, and she helps you out, and you basically sit down. It's dinner time, and I think we will leave it here for today.
Yeah.
And so there will be, and then you and I after this will discuss what we're going to do next, because I think there needs to be a denouement, because we can't just leave poor Miss Martin dangling
without anything. No,
we will have to do something about this, and
also we need to finish the school in some kind of way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to finish the recording for today, and there's going to be a 4th installment of